Aquarius, hello and welcome to your reading for May 27th through June 3rd. So I literally just was moving the deck around and then I got these three cards, which I think speaks to Aquarius that I know and loves energy. We got the Queen of Water, the Eight of Water, and then the Eight of Earth. So you all have made some decisions to stay aligned with the feminine energy in your life. You've had to do some work. Both of you guys have had to do some work to move on from this really stagnant, stuck energy where you guys were kind of deciding to make the same choices with each other. You guys were not able to get past an energy that wasn't serving you, wasn't serving your connection. And if this isn't a romantic connection for my Aquariuses, this was a creative output. This was something that you were doing. If you have Venus, Moon, rising Aquarius, like you guys were really feeling stuck. Like the figure eight was this infinite kind of continuous effect of just you wake up and then you go to sleep and then you wake up and you go to sleep and it's the same thing after day, and you guys kind of had it. So it seems like this Queen Water is showing an emergence. It's showing that you guys are choosing new and different ways to relate to one another, and this is very likely with Pluto going through your sign. I'm not sure about this, but Pluto I've heard is it's a feminine energy. This is from Linda Goodman. And right now the sun is in your 5th house. So your romance is getting a rebirth. You're rekindling that special union that you desire and that you deserve in your life, Aquarius. And it took me a while to actually get into your energy. So it feels like you've been handling your business. Like you have been taking good care of yourself. That's what I had to do. I had to attend to other things. So there might be some people who you would love to see, you'd love to connect with, and this week might be bringing those people into your life again. If not, you'll be hearing from them soon. Yeah, we have the sun. So you might be celebrating new achievements within your family life, within your romantic life, with your children, and it feels like things have net 19 is a net 10, and that's what the sun is in this angel deck, and you've manifested this movement forward, and it feels like you guys have made deliberate choices to get where you are. Pahu. Yeah, that 13 is the North and South Node are going to move this week, and the North Node is in your 3rd house of communication, and the South Node is in your 9th house of beliefs. So the full moon that's happening on Jupiter Day, May 23rd, is when I'm recording this, and it's like you guys are breaking down the beat of the drum that you guys were marching to. You march to the beat of your own drum. We all know that, Aquarius. But when does your drum beat become something that you're just doing? Like that infinite 8 of the, wake up, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep. It's the same thing day after day. Life is a gift, and we're meant to grow, develop, become people who we never thought we would become. Like that's what we're here for. Pahu is timing and ritual, the sacred drum. He ho alona kapu ka pahu, a sacred sign, the drum. Pahu appears when it's time to celebrate the sacred. Sometimes when our life becomes busy and hectic, we forget to take time to reflect upon or celebrate that which is most precious. So let's look back. Where were you 6 months ago? Where were you a year ago? On Mars Day, I had to pause for dramatic effect because you all know you've grown. Lutara, beautiful. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I have pictures that I was able to take this morning of the moon looking like that. So let's read about Blue Tara and see what she's got for you guys. She's a 17, which is a net 8. And it feels like this is the new decision that's come through. So I love the intuitive push and the intuitive pull. It's this balancing of pushing and pulling that leads us to a very strong place of integrity. What comes to mind is this motion with Shiva Ray Core Power Fluid Yoga, where she's sitting with her spine straight, and then she's bending forward to have the spine kind of go like this. So spine straight to down, and this beautiful pulling as if you're holding onto a rope with someone else, and it feels like maybe you and this person are passing the rope in between each other, so you guys have one cord that's connecting you both, and you have an equal measure of give and take, which is divine. Blue Tara, sweet mother of peace, now bestows her gifts of clarity, peace, and the power to overcome any negative condition. Just as the beautiful lotus grows from the muddied waters, so too shall you arise from confusion, difficult circumstances, and heavy energies into sacred blossoming. If you feel held back or slowed down by your circumstances, remember that your soul has the ability to process all experiences and become stronger, not weaker, through doing so. The oracle indicates healing and a positive prediction for a peaceful future. This is going to be something that you sustain because you're deciding and you're choosing it every single day. If we stop deciding something and we stop choosing it every day, of course it's not going to naturally maintain its integrity to be a fixture in our life. So Monday, ruled by the moon, I skipped ahead a whole week. I'm going to go to the internet. You guys know Taurus is your 4th house. So with Uranus in your 4th house, it feels like that actually has been doing a lot of this bending and manipulation, not in a toxic way, but like manipulating of the energy, which to me is like those curl rollers that you have to kind of like bend. If you guys know what I'm talking about, if you braid your hair to two-strand twist, you bend the curl roller and it's like this rubbery, puffy thing. And you have to manipulate it to hold onto your hair. But it's not something that is toxic anymore. You're not being manipulated or coerced into these changes. It's something that is really purely led from the heart. So the moon, starting out of the week, it'll be in your 12th house, which is going to be signs, symbols, synchronicities for you to see that you're in alignment and to keep taking these actions. Tuesday, more spirituality. The sun is going to be at 7 degrees Gemini in your 5th house, so it's going to be this sacred invitation to play. My friend who I'm thinking of, we moved to a street called Pa'ani, which means play in Hawaiian, and it was the invitation to play, sacred gestures of play, I think will lead to these beautiful sustained changes in your life, Aquarius. Wednesday, Mercury Day. The sun is at 8 degrees Gemini, so I feel like this is a moment where you're looking around and you're like 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, wow, how time flies, but how it's zipped up this DNA. This, when we share like kisses, utensils, food with people, we are sharing our DNA. It's in our saliva. Sorry if that's gross for you. Jupiter is going to move into Gemini on this day, and Mercury will be at 21 degrees Taurus. So that's your 4th house. That's when I feel like you guys will have the magic touch of the whispering wind. Like you'll say the right thing at the right time, and it's going to be like the sacred anchoring of this energy to where if it's felt at all unstable or unsturdy in certain regards, like maybe you have a creative project you're working on, like a poetry book or something, and then you say the magic words, like you start maybe even using your phone, type to text to type, where you speak into your phone, you press the microphone and it types out what you're saying. Star Mother Arrakis, number 23. I haven't seen the Jim Carrey movie, but I worked with a channeler who channeled Merlin, and she speaks to the number 23 being magical, and it's the number of Merlin because we feel our beliefs so we know. That's actually what my Sensei Christopher Witecki told me today. That's the magic of 23, knowing. Star Mother Arrakis, be the king who has made his own kingdom. Be the moon that has made her own summit. How much longer will you coo like a pigeon? Empty your head of all mortal lusts and become life without breath. You will not call out for God anymore. You will have become immersed in God. I also had this amazing experience of making a 15-minute gate change from International 154B at LAX to 54A. And this was done through prayer. I connected with Sri Anandamayi Ma, and I asked her before I got up to even get my bag to help me through it. And the day before I had time, because I had gotten a notification about 24 hours before my flight that it was going to be delayed. And it feels like becoming immersed in God is not a vow you take, it's a state of being. And once you immerse yourself in this state of being, the potential jabs that can come from other people, the provocation, the gaslighting, all this stuff that is very human because people want to defend and keep what they have at any cost sometimes. If feeling like this sense of they can lose you, and it's this unequal giving and taking, like you're just pulling like this. It's not both your feminine and masculine, your cerebral hemispheres that are aligning you two to one another. It feels like becoming immersed in spirit is with the sun at 8 degrees, it's the new decision that's going to align you to sustaining this love, this beautiful family relationship, and you're going to be able to speak from this place of innovated intellect with Uranus in your sign of the 3rd house, of talents, communication, gifts, skills, abilities that you are cultivating a passion for, and you are immersing yourself into God. Like, it's not outside of you. You're seeing everything through the eyes of spirit. Thursday, May 30th, Jupiter day. Jupiter moves to 1 degrees Gemini, which, because this is your 5th house, it might stand out extra. Knots in a cord, they are a message in a code. So that's funny, like the analogy of the rope. It's like if you and this person start to have a very attuned ability to speak to one another, it's going to be something that has come from an open-heartedness. Like, you're not judging one another anymore for what you say or how you show up, because it's so in alignment, and it's so beautifully done that it's beautiful to witness first and foremost, but it's also making you see how good life can be. It doesn't have to be this horrible experience. With Pluto in your 12th house before it moved into it, and it's going to move back, but I think it's going to be like rewriting that, because you might have had a very fixed notion of what life is and what God is, but now you get to say, actually, I've been proven as I've immersed myself in God that it's not quite like that. Things are a little bit different, and I want to have this, within me, and, contained in a way that feels harmonious with where I'm going, with what I'm putting into the world, with how I'm raising my family. Beautiful. On Venus Day, Venus will be 9 degrees Gemini. Before it conjoins the sun, it's bringing value to the things that we're doing, the ways that we're speaking to ourselves, the innovative sparks that are coming into our mind. We are allowing for ourselves to actually disrupt our normal patterns, which is allowing for these new decisions to be made of immersing ourselves in God, into the sacred timing of things all working out. Even 6 months ago, if you had zero hope, you maybe had the smallest grain of hope that ever existed. And now you're seeing more and more that your faith is blooming a full garden. And that's what I felt for you guys as a garden, Laka. Oh, that's beautiful. The Laka, which is 23. Where else do we get 23 with Star Mother Arrakis? There's a very intense, beautiful magic happening. It feels like despite your gender, everyone has a divine masculine and a divine feminine. It feels like you and your significant other are both connecting creatively, your divine feminine, and this is bringing a bunch of magic out, because you're both healing in ways that you never thought you could. You're both healing these wounds that kept you feeling at a distance from what your heart was asking you for in this lifetime. And there is a kite formation happening, and with Pisces in your 2nd house, it's like you guys are starting to cultivate ways of really having a sustainable life and income, and it's nothing that can be taken from you anymore. If you've ever feared, like crypto crashing or monetary success and sustaining that, just know that this is going to be pushed away more and more as you immerse yourself in spirit, as you surrender to the magic. You go with the flow, and you have a plan for where you would like to end up, and then both you and your partner in sacred union, unified in a creative outlook, is going to manifest into your physical reality a lot more substantially, in a sustainable way, rapidly. So we love this for you guys. Go Aquarius, go. Whew. And Saturn Day. One thing to do for the first of the month is rabbit. This is something that's supposed to bring you good luck all month. And we have Saturn at 18 degrees Pisces in your 2nd house. So let's see what this is. I have my Indara here, chilling on the books, chilling with the cards. White lilies blooming alone in the shade. This speaks to me of you have your garden and you have it protected. You have it perfectly tuned. So if this is your garden and this is relating to a child, it's like they feel so safe, and you feel that within your whole family because you guys are all bumping off of each other with these really good vibrations. And with Pluto having retrograded to 1 degree, it's allowing for you to really love everything in your life. Everything that you don't love in your life has to go, but it doesn't mean relationships have to go. It's just that the relationships have to transform. And the white lilies blooming alone in the shade, gifted with deep and subtle qualities which are germinating in the subconscious and coming into their own, which feels like that feminine, creative life force that is not being judged. It's being nurtured from both parties, and it's showing in your garden. Transported into inner worlds in order to dream, imagine, and conceive from a pure place. Are you having more children, Aquarius? Disengaged with phenomenal appearances, staying just apart. Much that goes on here stays under, percolates timelessly. A special karma to cultivate the mysteries, to be different yet no issue. Deep down in there, creative forces work unceasingly and design alternatives for the world to partake in if the world turns that way. You guys are creating your own world, and it feels like this beautiful ripple throughout the universe of like, you know, it's like Morse code. You just have to keep tapping that message, and then someone will eventually pick up on it. I've seen it in so many movies, but one that stands out is Pono, or Ponyo. Pono is a Hawaiian word, but Ponyo is the Little Mermaid from Hayao Miyazaki. So there's the moment where this little boy is sending his dad a message, and he's on a ship in the middle of the ocean, and the ship is like, or the sea level rises so much because Ponyo has run away from her dad, and she's with her friend Susuke. Watch it if you haven't, it's very sweet. Sunday, the sun is at 12 degrees, and then the north and south node move to 12 degrees. So there's this radical shift in belief. People who aren't aligned, you'll see them sort of like in crisis mode, but I feel like there will be guiding lights, these lamps of our hearts that are lit, especially by you and your significant other, Aquarius, that, or whatever creative projects you're bringing into the world that is a light for people. And people are going to start flooding to you because of Saturn and Neptune in your second house. It's like you're bringing ancient wisdom to the surface, and it's making you a lot of bank because you have Mars in your third house, and it has you motivated, as well as Chiron, which has you healing all the times that you wanted to do this, or that you've attempted to do this in this lifetime or past ones where things didn't work out. Like you got executed by the church, you were locked away and made to rot in prison and starved to death, but you have abundance around you, and you have more than enough to share, and it's coming across as like acts of service, but it's on a level that is, even if it's not like direct to people, it's like on the internet, people are being fed by what you got going on. She offers the sacred wine, so drink. Yeah, you're offering up sacred wine, and people are like, can I have another glass? And you're like, okay, $5. You know, you got to make that money to sustain your lifestyle for now. We got to mature out of money as a society before we can move on from it. And it feels that you are connected to all of your awareness. You've integrated your shadow, and this is something that is moving you along in your life. Monday, ruled by the moon. The moon is at 7 degrees Taurus, and it will move throughout the sign of Taurus in this day. I want to see if it crosses Uranus in your third house, because I feel that it's not going to cross Uranus in the step day. For my East Coasters, it'll be during the nighttime. But this will illuminate the dream space of how maybe you can innovate whatever it is that you're developing and bring it into the world with that much more passion. Aquarius, have a fabulous week. Let me know how things go for you in the comments, and I will see you in our next reading. Aloha!